tell me that.
Well, I think,
I don't wanna sit by him. Don't think I wanna sit by
You can
him.
go somebody.
That's what the board of supervisors, they've been spreading out, like they'll have a couple of them up here and out in the crowd.
get a headache. No cough.
Every day we have to deal with the government, we have a headache, that's all I'm gonna say. So you have to have a headache every day.
Every day. We're recording and ready to go.
Call the meeting to order on June 15th at 5:30. Roll call of the members, please, Matt.
Lynn Leaders is here. Rick Larson,
Here.
Brett Larson,
Here.
and Carrie Weedy.
Here.
So we're gonna let the record show we have 4 members present for tonight's meeting.
Okay, you've had a chance to read the minutes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes or make corrections?
I move we approve the minutes.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Lynn?
Did you get that, so Carrie did a second to approve the minutes, Lynn, and, so Carrie did the motion, Rick seconded it, and now it's a vote for if you wanna approve the minutes.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay. Next, I'm gonna read a statement. The public hearing will be conducted pursuant to the commission rules of procedure. We will first hear the report of the planning director on the detailed information and observations regarding the request before the commission, if not done so in written form prior to the hearing. Next, we'll take the testimony of the applicant and his or her witnesses. Upon completion of the applicant's testimony, I will call upon members of the audience wishing to be heard concerning the request. Persons in favor of the request shall be heard first, followed by those opposed to it. At any time during the presentation of testimony, the members of the commission may interrupt to ask questions or to make comments on what has been said. Upon completion of all testimony, the applicant will be allowed to make a closing statement to the commission. Upon completion of the applicant's closing statement, I will entertain a motion from the commission to close the public hearing on the request. The commission reserves the right to ask questions of any member of the audience. However, we will not hear any unsolicited statements unless public hearing is first reopened. Each speaker addressing the commission shall step forward to the podium, state their name and address before proceeding with their testimony or evidence. This commission shall not be bound by strict rules of evidence, but does reserve the right to exclude evidence or testimony that it may deem to be irrelevant, immaterial, incompetent, or unduly repetitious. As chairman, I will rules on questions relating to the admissibility of evidence, which will be overruled by the majority of the commission. Continuances may be granted by the commission in case for good cause shown by any interested party who has entered their appearance. The commission may request a continuance of the hearing for the purpose of giving further notice, taking further evidence, gathering further information, touring the proposed site, or for such other reasons as the commission may find sufficient. In such case, we shall state the specific reason for the continuance and set a time, date, and place when the matter will be continued. All official actions of the commission will be made at a public meeting by motion made, seconded, and polling of the membership. If conditions are imposed, such conditions shall be included in the motion or admitted thereto. Our final decision will be prepared in writing and will be part of the public record of the commission. Upon hearing that, I will ask for a motion to open upon the public hearing on the case number, get to that real quick here, sorry about that, ZTA-2020-01. I asked for a second. If there's no seconds,
No, we can go ahead and do the motion.
motion. Can we open up the public hearing?
I move, open up the public hearing.
So Rick's made a motion to open up public hearing on case number ZTA-2020-01.
second the motion.
Carrie seconded the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Lynn?
Yeah.
Aye. Okay, public hearing is now opened.
So on the video conference here, we have, Mr. Jack Roosh, representing Joseph and Violetta Shiro on this. It is a zoning text amendment to add a zoning text amendment to the Pottawattamie County, Iowa zoning ordinance, section 8.012.030, conditional uses for the class A3. That's our riverfront and ag production district, by adding .10, which would be commercial kennels and veterinary hospitals or clinics, provided that no such structure or exercising runway shall be located closer than 200 feet from any Class R district or platted residential subdivision or dwelling other than that of the leasee or owner of the site. So, Mr. Roosh, do you have any comments that you would like to add?
Yes, Jack Roosh, 25 Main Place. Mr. and Mrs. Shiro just built a home on the property at 13851 192nd Street, which is like a 30-acre tract. They raise English bulldogs as a hobby and would like to continue that. The text amendment we propose mirrors exactly what's already allowed in the A2 zone, and we think, as we pointed out, that allowing that also in this A3 zone would probably have less impact on anyone else than in A2. They're well away from anyone else anyway. So we would ask you to recommend the approval of that text amendment.
Thank you. And this would, so by what this does is, they filed for the text amendment. The planning commission would review this, and it is in our other zoning districts that we have worded just like this. And then you would make a recommendation to the Board of Supervisors to either approve this text amendment or to not recommend it to the Board of Supervisors. The Board of Supervisors will then hold a public hearing on it as well. And on the public hearing, we usually do public hearing and the first draft of it. And then they will do one more public hearing on it, and then it actually becomes a part of the zoning ordinance. It's just to kind of give you a rundown of how that works out.
So this is just not a one-time deal for them. If this becomes in effect, then it's for everything zoned A3. Is that the way I read this?
That would be correct. It would be a condition, so they will still have to then come back and file for the conditional use permit, which will go through the zoning board of adjustment and put the different conditions down on there, like pertaining to number of dogs, structures that they may have, different, whether if they're gonna have custody, it could pertain all the way down to if they're gonna have customers coming out on site, at what times the customers will be coming out on site. A lot of what the concern that goes with allowing this conditional use in the A3, which is really, I mean, it's your riverfront ground. Any of those flood concerns that come with that, any of the development that they do in there has to come with a floodplain development permit, and which doesn't allow construction in the floodway. If it is in ground that is deemed not floodway, but at risk of flood, then they have to go through the elevation of that and be 1 foot above base flood elevation. Surveyors get involved and shoot the elevation certificates. We became a community rating, part of the community rating system with FEMA. And so we have to document every step of the way as far as that detail goes with that. And that would be all the elevation certificates that they have to obtain. They obtain one from the footings, and then they would obtain one at the final as well. But
So let me get this straight. So that if we approve this, or we vote to approve this, we're going to let everybody in A3 be under this conditional use, but each person would have to come in and file. Is that correct?
it allows them the potential to come in and file for a
But they still
conditional.
have to pass in
Correct.
order to get through.
Yes,
Same way with the Shiros.
right.
So if we amend this A3, they still have to, if it gets all the way through and the supervisors have their second public hearing and we go through all that, then they have to come in and apply to get it.
Correct.
And your recommendation?
Our recommendation would be that we're okay with adding this in there. I was a little bit surprised that it wasn't in there, based on just kind of the number of homes that we actually have allowed down in there anyway. But, I think with it being a part of the conditional use process, that allows that further regulation of it, that, we would be okay adding that in there and allowing somebody at least that option of being able to, because we have quite a few commercial kennels out there, and some people just have more than 4 dogs. And so in order to have the 4 dogs, they come in and file for a commercial kennel, because we only license up to 4 dogs in the county. And so they want to be in compliance with things, and they might have 6 dogs, and they'll come in and license for those.
Okay.
One other question was, aren't we trying to get rid of everything on the riverfront?
Well, so they built a home on 192nd Street, which is, so south of Lewis Central Bus Barn, down there. And so what they deal a lot with is groundwater flooding from it just coming up.
Right.
And, but yeah, the FEMA and everybody, I mean, they're really buying up the majority of everything that's down there. It's kind of going
I
right to
don't think
farm ground.
this property is even zoned A. It's X, protected by a levee, so.
Oh, is it?
Well, I mean, certain properties down there, I know they're trying to buy up, and so,
We have another 28 on the list right now.
right. So, again, they would have to get approved, and they'd have to have everybody's blessing, and if it gets bought up, it's not gonna be used for that anyway.
Right.
I'm done.
Okay, any further discussion? Lynn?
Sounds okay. I mean,
Okay, anybody else?
they're gonna have to come in and get their thing anyway, so I.
Okay, anybody else, for or against?
Not a big issue.
Seeing none, I'm gonna,
Need a motion.
motion to, close the public hearing. Do we have a
I move to close public hearing.
second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Okay, motion, or the public hearing is now closed. Any other discussion, or do you want to make a motion to, approve? ZTA 2020-01.
I move that we, I'm gonna try and get all these words right, recommend the amendment to section 8.012.030 to the Board of Supervisors.
Do we have a
Second.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and seconded. Okay, then we're gonna have to do a roll call then. Matt, in favor?
Rick Larson,
Aye.
Brett Larson,
Aye.
Carrie Weedy,
Aye.
Lynn Leaders.
Aye.
Motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you, and thanks for the Zoom meeting.
Yep, thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay. Now we're gonna open, we have another case, sub 2020-03, Michael and Kelly Gillette. Do you wanna, tell us about that, Matt?
Oh, we gotta do a motion up, open public hearing.
Okay,
I move to open the public hearing on SUB 2020-03.
okay, do we have a second?
I second the motion.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So we have a public hearing open, regarding case sub 2020-03. Okay, Matt, go ahead and tell us about it.
So this is a plot of land that they own right off on the you can see on the staff report on Dogwood Road.
Yep.
When we approved this into the official bituminous roads, I think we already have done, one minor subdivision on this right now. This would be our second minor subdivision on this. And it's going to, it really meets in with the changes that we tried to make. We're trying to kind of bring housing back and fill it in those areas rather than push further out to the east. And it will, I think we're adding one more, we're gonna basically split the property, add another one in there. And, as far as recommendations from what we have, we would recommend approval to it, because it really kind of meets the criteria of what we've been trying to accomplish on keeping the housing centered this way.
Okay. Okay,
Just 2 lots.
That's correct.
There's just 2.
okay, does the applicant want to come forward and,
So it looks like lot 1 will be about 5 acres, 4.9 acres. Lot 2 will be 7.02 acres.
Self-explanatory.
you have the chance to come and present your case if you want. You just have to state your name and address and then tell us why.
Get you guys more tax dollars. Mike Gillett, 1612 Madison Avenue, Counts Bus. We just want to divide a piece of ground. We got some people that want to build some homes out in the county. And it's a good property and would make a nice addition to the county. There you go.
Good, thanks. Do we have anybody else for or?
I'm for.
Okay. Anybody against? Okay. And the recommendation, Matt?
The recommendation from the planning department would be to approve it.
Okay. Any discussion?
I move to
Questions?
close the public hearing.
Okay, we have a motion to close the public hearing. Do we have a second?
I second.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, aye.
Aye.
Public hearing is now closed. Any other discussion, or do you want to make a motion to,
I move to approve SUB 2020-03.
okay, do we have a second?
I second the motion.
Okay, roll call, Matt.
Brett Larson?
Here.
Carrie
Or,
Weedy?
Sorry, yes. Aye. Here, aye.
Carrie Weedy?
Aye.
Lynn Leaders?
I was reading
Aye.
here.
Rick Larson?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries, it's approved. Congratulations. Now we have a motion to, close the public hearing.
No, we have to, so we have other business tonight. And the other business is for, the review of the industrial park urban renewal plan and comprehensive plan to see if it is in conformity with the general plan for development of the municipality as a whole. So, we have a project that's going in on 192nd Street. It is called the Armstrong Industrial Park. And it is a 26-acre piece of ground that a developer by the name of Jason Armstrong has been able to elevate it up out of the floodplain area, and he's gonna divide it out into approximately 14 lots. And those 14 lots would be able to be used by small business owners, you know, like your plumbers and electricians, contractors, things like that, to have an affordable place to be able to build a shop out in the county that their employees could come to, and it not have to necessarily meet the stringent paving requirements that the city has. And so then make it more affordable. But in order to be able to accomplish this at a rate that the lots can be sold at that affordable price, we're offering to help out with some Tiff financing. And in order to do the Tiff, a part of that is this urban renewal plan. So what the county would be utilizing for Tiff would be about $800,000, and it would be to pay for the road infrastructure that's going in there. Originally, what we described out, the original talks that we had with Armstrong was that we would potentially Tiff the water line and Tiff a section of the road, and then he was gonna contribute 25% of the cost of the road. When we got to talking with the TIF attorneys said there was a change in the TIF structure and that we could no longer utilize TIF to pay for water line infrastructure because they didn't see water, they do not see water infrastructure as a public infrastructure improvement, even though it's owned by Council Bluffs Waterworks, it's a public company, so we had some differences on there. In order to simplify the process, what we have done is we have said, listen, your original investment into this when we started talking with the county was gonna be about $190,000.
Okay.
That's what he was looking at for his 25% of the road costs. So we said, what if we take your percent of the road costs and you just pay for the water line? Because the water line is gonna wind up costing about $190,000. And so then the county will use our TIF funds, we'll get a bond for those, and we'll pay for the roads. And that way we can monitor the road project and we can get the quality of a road that we want out of the deal, rather than turn the road project over to you, you build the roads and then you just have us adopt them in. Then the engineers don't have any say in what happens with the road, so we don't really know what kind of road product we're getting.
Sure.
By doing it this way, it allows John's crew to go down there and actually monitor the process of how the road's constructed and take a road into the county system that we know we should not have any maintenance necessarily on for the next 15 years because it was constructed up to the standard of what John wanted. And we've already received a RISE grant for this project. It's covering $500,000 of the cost. And then, so the rest of the costs on that road piece then will be picked up through TIF. And how that works will be, we put the minimum assessment on it, and then we're gonna get a bond in the amount of about $750,000 to cover the rest of the cost of the road. They already have 3 of those lots sold, and by the looks of what we should have, we have the ability, since it's industrial, to do the TIF for 20 years. But I think we're gonna only wind up having it for like 5 years before it's paid off, because it's such a small amount of money when you look at the overall valuation jump that property is gonna see. So that's what this urban renewal is about, and we worked with Al Harris and Clooney out of Des Moines to come up with it and make sure that it conforms with our land use plan that we have, which that corner of the county has always been our like industrial hub. So it conforms right in with what we're wanting to do. We've been jockeying a little bit with the city over, this has been going on for 2 years, this project, okay? Just to tell you how long this has been happening. Originally, they agreed that, yeah, they waived their right of review because it falls within the 2-mile limit. And so they waived their right of review and just said, we'll annex you in we'll annex you in 10 years, or when we get water and sewer there. Well, when they made that, took it all the way through, but then when they came up with their resolution, it says that we're gonna annex you in 2024. And it doesn't say anything else. It doesn't say water and sewer. It just says that's what it was gonna be. So the developer this year, then we went back at him when we said, hey, the resolution's not worded correctly. The developer went back there. So they're trying to work that part of it out right now on how they're gonna actually word that piece of it. So once we have that part, because with this TIF being within the 2-mile limit, we have to do a joint TIF agreement with the city.
Yeah.
This urban renewal plan is actually joint with the city. And we originally thought, well, we'll do more area down there than just Jason's parcel. Well, one of their conditions was that we can only do Jason's parcel as the urban renewal plan, which is fine. So we narrowed the urban renewal map down to just Jason's parcel in particular. And so then we still have to now get them to come around to how they're gonna do the annexation thing. We really wanna see it in the 10 years, and or when water and sewer gets there, because they've already said we have no plans on putting water and sewer there, which would allow this property to stay in the county and people to have an affordable place to construct and have their businesses run out of. But I think what they're a little bit worried about is right across the street, that road's actually a shared road right there. The city owns half, county owns half. And so they are getting some benefit out of this. I mean, the RISE grant is gonna upgrade 192nd Street, which is, since that's partly their road, they're getting that benefit out of it. And it will hopefully allow for them to get some contractors, places to build that outside of the city that they maybe have had issues with, and not being able to fulfill the paving requirements or stormwater requirements that they have within the city. So this part here, though, for tonight is just as long as I think Pam has some official language to be used for the commission to state that the urban renewal plan and the comprehensive plan is in conformity, and then that part will be done. It still has to get approved by the Board of Supervisors. It still has to get approved through the city, like I said, and then we will continue to move forward.
Yep,
So you just need a formal vote to find that the urban renewal plan is in conformity with the comprehensive plan.
Okay. So the industrial park urban renewal plan and comprehensive plan is in conformity with the general plan for the development of the I can't even pronounce that, municipality as a whole? Is that the,
I think we just need a formal vote to find that the urban renewal plan is in conformity with the comprehensive plan.
okay. Based on what he said,
Need a motion?
motion.
Yes.
I'll make a motion on what I just said.
Okay, do we have a second?
I second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And then there's one last thing that I wanted to point out to the members of the commission. As you see here tonight, we are sitting at 4 members, and that is due to state legislation that was passed that effective immediately terminated the positions of Nelson Bingham, Larry Plagman, and Diana Dietrich. And we lost a vast amount of experience, I feel like, by what the state legislators did in that. And it was due to that now commission members all have to live within the jurisdiction in which they're serving on the commission for, which came out of Johnson County on the eastern side of the state, which most of these things do. They had some different, they had different issues going on out of there to where some of the planning commission members, they didn't feel like represented the jurisdiction well. And it's one of those things where I don't feel like we've ever had a problem within Pottawattamie County in that area. Nelson Bingham and Larry had both been rural county members, and they just retired and moved to town. And
Now, Larry still owns lots of property in the county.
so I think that they're, our members were unfairly penalized, and not only did we lose members from this commission, we also lost a member from our zoning board of adjustment as well. We have always, as long as I've been employed with the county, had a member who sat on the zoning board of adjustment who resided within Council Bluffs. And I didn't feel like it ever adversely affected any of the decisions that came out of that zoning board of adjustment. And if it was, Kay, I felt like had assembled a very strong members on each, whether it was the planning commission or the zoning board of adjustment. And for the number of years that she ran those, it had never been an issue. But again, it was with that state legislation, and we sent complaints up through our state representatives. We sent complaints up through our lobbyists, and we were assured that this was not something that was high on their priority list when they came back into session. It was the first thing that they pushed through when they came back onto theirs and had the governor sign. And then the fact that they just didn't give us any leeway on, maybe give them 90 days so we have time to find members. I'm sure it could have put some counties in a really hard spot with the amount of members that they lost. But that's why you see what you do tonight. So we will be, we have posted 4 new members and have an application process that we'll go through to try to get some new people on, but that's where we're at.
Get some more Larsons, right?
Better place than Larson's around.
So we do have an application for July, so
Okay.
hopefully we can all attend.
When is it?
As long as my babysitter's around.
It would be,
Sorry.
no, that's fine.
Second Monday of the month?
Third Monday.
Third Monday?
I think the third Monday's fine.
So,
But I could reschedule it if need be. It is supposed to be July 20th.
Yes, it'll be July 20th.
It's whatever. I'll make it happen.
the only thing that, and so you guys all know, I'd missed some meetings and it's because I'm pushed up, because I'm the president of the Underwood School Board.
Sure.
So I had to push our meeting back tonight so that I could be here, I try to do both.
We appreciate that.
Sometimes I can't make it work out, so I don't miss because I don't wanna be here, I just miss because I can't get here.
Good luck
Or you
with
forget.
that, back to learning plan. That'll be interesting.
Oh, you don't wanna get me started on the government. Just a suggestion, you might try Jake Driver. He's ran for a lot of stuff in the county, I think he's probably somewhat,
Okay.
level-headed, so I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
We have a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I moved adjourn.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
See ya.
Bye.
We had a few female names pop up, so that's good, so we can have, because we'll have to do the gender balance piece of it too.
How's business? Or
Which
which,
business?
the one out in Oregon?
That's quite interesting. The government's really been, dealing with it.
That you make money?
Yeah.
Good.
Everything I do, the government seems to be involved in. I don't know why, I like a target on my back.
Well, you know what, I tell you what, I'll quit and I'll come there, I'll come work for you, and I can
Yeah,
run
me too.
interference with any government agency you put me in front of.
You know what? Hey, that's not too far off my thought process to hire somebody from the government to run interference for the government.
Yeah, they do it all the time.
My lord, it's just terrible.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, thanks.
I finally got the city
And
deal
does he
straightened
have
out
the
though.
minutes?
Did you?
Which city?